The Valorant skin Easter egg Iceberg. In this video we're gonna talk about a lot of skin Easter eggs, starting with Easter eggs that everybody knows and ending with the most obscure ones. If you saw my last Iceberg video, you might see some things double, but these things are mainly in tier 1 and 2. But I bet that the lower we go, the more things will be new to you, because they were also new for me. Let's start at the first tier though, memory chip. If you unlock the gun body of KO called memory chip, it will look like this if you hold it on any gun. However, if you also unlock the classic of KO, put the memory chip on this classic and then play Brimstone, then the memory chip will open. Why so? Well, it has something to do with the lore and I can't dive very deep into it, or this video will be very long. But in short, KO really trusts Brimstone, so Brimstone is the only agent that can see KO's memory in the future. Octopus. You see this octopus gun body? Usually it's a red gun body, but if you put it on the ghost of Omen, it will turn blue. Why so? Well, my friends, back in the day a lot of people believed that Omen was actually an octopus, mainly because of this player card over here. When Rito Games saw this meme, they actually doubled down and made a lot of other octopus player cards. Sadly though, in the end they came out clean and said this in an interview.
Is Omen an octopus? Is Omen an octopus? Is Omen an octopus? At some point, like, it doesn't matter what I say. I guess Omen is an octopus now. No, he's not, but maybe.
So no, my friends, Omen is not an octopus. League reference. The Sentinels of Light in the Ruination bundle are based around League of Legends champions Senna and Viego. I've showed this in last Iceberg video. Very well known Easter egg, and that's why it's tier 1. Just like these next two Easter eggs. The butterfly knife has a rare variant. Each time a new round starts, it has like a 1 in 500 chance to change into a Doppler or Fate variant. And for the candy cane, if you smash it against the wall for long enough, it will change into an ice pick. Okay, that was tier 1. Common knowledge, right? Let's go to tier 2 now. And the first one is about the Oni mask. If you pull out the ultimate of Yoru, you will see a Yoru mask, right? Well, there's a cool Easter egg, because if you put on the Oni katana, the Yoru mask will change into an Oni mask. Sadly, it doesn't work with the other Oni knife. Hexakill. Common knowledge by now is that the Spectrum Phantom makes a different sound if you make an hexakill than if you make a pentakill. Less common knowledge though is that the Spectrum Phantom isn't the only weapon. You also have the Neon Frontier. And apparently there's a small difference with the Sentinels of Light in the Ruination bundle. Big thanks to everyone who pointed this out during last Iceberg video. The Konami code. If you inspect the RES Ghost, it looks like you're smashing random buttons, but it's not random at all. You're putting in the Konami code, a cheat code that's been used in many games before, like Tetris and even Little Big Planet. And then we need to talk about the Galeria bundle, because did you ever notice that the designs on the skins are actually murals on Valorant? The bunny on the Phantom you can find on Haven, the katanas on the Guardian on Split, Marshall Flowers on Bind, and these abstract waves on Ascent. And that, my friends, concludes tier 2. Let's go to tier 3 now. First one, RDVR Phantom. Did you ever hear about this skin? It's a pretty niche skin. Rito Games released it a while ago in episode 7 Act 2, but not a lot of people know about this skin. But why is it so special? Well, my friends, if you look in an agent, some agents will have a gun in their hand, but in most cases this gun will have no skin. At this point there's only one skin that's been used inside the agent select, and that's the RDVR Phantom when you try to look in that look. Cool little Easter egg. Congrats to everyone who has this skin, because like all the other Battle Pass skins, there's no way you can get the RDVR Phantom anymore. M14 Guardian. There's this skin in Valorant called the Infantry Guardian that's based around the real one, and if you reload the real one you will hear a cling, and this is the same sound if you run out of ammo and try to reload in Valorant. Prime Odin. There's a little Easter egg on the Prime Odin, and that's this number over here on the top right. If you change between the different chroma skins, this number will change from 2.0 to 2.1, 2.2, and then 2.3. There's one small thing that bothers me though. Why is this the 2.2 variant and this the 2.3 variant? Either change the position of these two chromas or change the engraving. Rito, please fix. Smiley. Let's stay on the topic of chromas, because on the Spectrum skin line, all the chromas basically look the same except for the black variant. On the black variant, you can actually find smiley stickers. No, sticker. Why a sad smiley face? No worries, my friends. There's also a happy smiley face, and that's on the other side of the gun. See-through. In Valorant, there are only two skins that are see-through, and one of them is the Neptune skin line. If you inspect the skin, you can actually see through the skin, so it basically gives you an unfair advantage. Nah, the difference is very small, so you don't really get an advantage. About the second skin that's see-through, I give you a minute to think about it, because that one comes later in this video. First, we go to the 4th tier of the Iceberg. iceberg, or a mountain I mean. First one, gravity. Did you know about the existence of this skin over here? Oh man, I never can pronounce it, but aerosols. But I mean the aerosol bundle. This one. This collection got released in 2021 and on it you can find a lot of little Easter eggs. Some designs on this gun are actually spray paints that you could find in the same battle pass, or you have things like a Yoru mask on it. Tons of little designs that you can find anywhere in Valorant. Neptune and Prelude finishers. This one not really an Easter egg, but I felt it was worth mentioning it in this video. Did you ever notice that the Neptune finisher and Prelude finishers are exactly the same, only then with different effects? Just take a look at them side by side. Lazy or smart? I have no idea. But these aren't the only two that have the same animations. Some skins aren't as unique as you might think. Matte black skins. This Easter egg is a little bit weird, because usually the more you play Valorant, the more of these Easter eggs you might know. But this Easter egg is actually more known to the newer Valorant players and less known to the older Valorant players. And I'm talking about the matte black skins, also known as the classic skins or the no skins. Did you ever notice that every matte black skin in Valorant has a small symbol on it? In total there are 5 different symbols, but what these symbols actually mean, I have no idea. It feels like these icons are placed randomly on a gun. We have a marshal with the cowboy hat, an outlaw with the star for example, so it's not like every sniper has the same symbol. If you know more about this, let me know in the comments down below. And also, the reason why the newer players know this and not the older players is because all the older players have skins. Oh man, I've wasted way too much money on this game to play with the matte black skins. Okay, let's move on to tier 5 now. Big respect if you know any of these. Bullets. Did you know that every skin in Valorant has also uniquely designed bullets? Some are very obvious, for example those of the Blastake skins, while others you can't even really see unless you slow down the footage. There's a YouTuber called You're Not Justin who tested this with a lot of different skins, and in his videos you can find that yes, every skin has unique bullets. I never knew this. Pretty cool Easter egg. Next Easter egg, 99+. Did you ever play with the RGX bundle and thought to yourself, what's the maximum kill count that the RGX can show? It's something that I wanted to find out a while ago, so I hopped into a custom game, made a lot of kills on my enemy, and the conclusion, if you get 99 kills with the RGX bundle, the 100 kill will show E0. If you have no clue what this means, according to Google it signifies an error code. What if you continue shooting? Well, from E0 you go to E1, then E2, E3, all the way till E9, and then you start counting at 0 again. It's a pretty strange mechanic, but hey, now we know I guess. Hello, this is one of the most obscure Easter eggs, but since I showed it in last Iceberg video, we now know why it happens. If you have no clue where I'm talking about, here's the Easter egg. If you go to the Vandals and search for the Elder Flame Vandal, then hover your mouse on the animation, you might have noticed that a small hello will appear on the top left when the player makes a kill. Why is that hello there? When I first saw this I thought it was so random, but after reading the comments from last episode I now know the reason. The hello you see on the top left is apparently a debug message that you can find in Unreal Engine with a function called print string. Where the heck am I talking about? Well, it's basically used by the devs to see if something is working. I'm very impressed with you guys in the comments, because a lot of people pointed this out. A lot of game developers in my audience, I guess. Pretty cool that we now know why the hello is there. Phew, we're not done with this video, because now it's time to move into the last tier, the tier 6 Easter eggs. All these Easter eggs were pretty new to me, and maybe they're also new to you. Invisible skin. It's time to talk about the second see-through skin now. You know the arcade bundle, right? We talked about this bundle before in this video, because it's the bundle with the Konami code on it. Well, my friends, did you know that there's an actual cheat code for this skin? And with this combination you can change your phantom from this to this. Want to know how to do the cheat code? Flow Ascending explained it in a video a while back.
Starting with the knife, it's left click, right click, then swap to the phantom, inspect, swap back to the knife, and then right click.
Pretty cool, right? You have a 1 in 50 chance that your phantom will change. But keep in mind though, it's only possible if you also have the arcade knife. Glitch. One of the first epic skins that got released into the game was the Glitch Pop bundle. At the time it was a very cool skin line that a lot of people bought, and there was one thing about this bundle that went viral, and that's a glitch with this bundle. If I hold the Vandal normally, you can see a small hologram on the gun, right? Well, my friends, apparently if you switch to your gun and pistol very quickly, that hologram will also appear on that pistol. Pretty strange, right? Everyone at the time thought that this was a glitch in the game, but now more than 4 years after this gun got released, this glitch is still in the game. So at this point I don't think it's a glitch anymore, but actually a feature, a fun little Easter egg. The only thing I really wonder at this moment is that I want to know if Rito Games put this in intentionally, or that it started out as a glitch, but since the skin is called Glitch Pop and the hologram is pretty harmless, that they just kept it in the game. Next Easter egg, the Chrono Sphere. There's this skin bundle in Valorant called the Chrono Void, and in the middle of the Phantom and Vandal you can find a sphere moving with cool animations. And at first I didn't really think much about it, but a few weeks ago I got convinced by my girlfriend to watch Alice in Wonderland 2. Yeah, don't ask me why I got convinced. I guess we were really bored or something. And in that movie there was this thing called the Chronosphere, where like the whole movie was based around. It was the most important thing in the universe. And this Chronosphere looked exactly like the sphere inside the Vandal and Phantom. So my mind was immediately, you know what, this must be an Alice in Wonderland 2 reference. But then, after some googling, I couldn't find any other person talking about it. Not even on Reddit. So, for the people who saw Alice in Wonderland 2, do you think this is a reference? Chrono Void, Chronosphere, there's a sphere inside the gun. This must be a reference, right? Let me know your opinion in the comments down below. And then we go to the last Easter egg of this video, the Forgotten Skins. 5 years ago, before Valorant officially got released, you could of course play the beta of Valorant. During the beta there were skins in game, but these skins were very different from the skins we have today. You, for example, had the Reaver bundle, but the Reaver skins looked very different than the Reavers we have today. You had the Luxe bundle, the blue variant exactly the same. However, you could choose from a lot of different other variants, and maybe the most impressive one, the Prime Vandal, had like 6 different chroma skins, and only 3 of the chroma skins made it to the actual game. What I personally think is that one of the Prime chromas, the one on the top left, actually became the base of the Champions Vandal skin. It looks pretty similar. Big shout out to Jorno Justin again. He made a whole video about the Forgotten Skins. I would really recommend to check it out. Okay, my friends, but now the big question, what's the Easter egg about this? Well, there isn't really an Easter egg about the Forgotten Skins. I just felt that it fitted in this video perfectly, because not a lot of people knew that these skins existed. And now you know, my friends. Anyway, this was the last thing of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.